Alright guys, haven't done a video in ages. Finally got the World Sportsman 2s in half decent shape. And I did a little flow testing with the giant iron bow tie on it. I actually did a flow test without the bow tie with the 1204 radius on it. I may actually bring that up to a 1205. It's almost a 1205 now. So that'll only change it a little bit though. So let's take a quick look at what we got on the sheets. Okay, finalized it as a 2.1 inch valve. I could go bigger, but I don't think I need to. And it does have a back cut, 30-degree back cut. The flows are actually pretty decent. 200 at 0.3 is okay, not spectacular. In fact, I think we were doing better than that last time. Let's see what the last flow sheet looked like. Okay, this is fourth cut with a 2.1. That was up. Now we're up over here. Up. And then we start to lose a little bit here. This was almost 300. We didn't come close to 300 here. So I know what wound up happening is I made a couple little changes to make all the ports the same. And sometimes when I do that, I lose a few CFM here and there. I'm not really going to worry about it right now because these are probably going to be getting a big dual plane. And as we saw, what did we get on the big bow tie? We got like 260 CFM average out of it. Okay, let's take a look at what we got for this swirl. No swirl on that. But this swirl is actually quite nice. I like this swirl on here, right? You go from 300 to 18 to 2,000 to almost 3,000. 3,000 is a little much. We don't need that much. But after I put the intake manifold on, it's kind of interesting, right? We went 38.7 to 41.3. You actually get a boost in some of the lower numbers, right? Boost, lose a little bit. All right, and you lose the rest of the way. You go from 200 to 172.9, and you lose quite a bit up here. I mean, we're at 280.3 at 600, down to 213.2. Now, that's the big bow tie with a 770 carb on it. And if you take a look, it's kind of interesting what happens to our swirl, right? It goes up here, up here, up here, about the same, almost the same, almost the same, almost the same, down, 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 down. This is actually a better swirl curve than with just the 1204 radius. That's kind of interesting. And the exhaust I finalized as a 1.625 because the seats were kind of beat, so I wanted to go a little bit bigger seat to get some fresh iron and keep the seat high. This actually flows quite well. 247.7 at 700 is pretty darn good. Now, I didn't see these yet. I'm going to say the intake's probably about 215. I think it was about 215. It was 210.5 here. It's probably a few cc's more now after everything's been finalized. Probably less than 215 total. Let's. I'm going to pull them off the bench and let you guys take a look at them. I'm just going to swap this over so I can give it a shot at Dike and we'll see what the spray pattern looks like. Alright, I did the Dike. Let me just pull this off and we'll take a look at it. Okay, I did the Dike a little bit different. You can see the way it came out of the chamber. I was debating upon whether to deshroud this chamber a little bit more. Not sure. Not sure what I'm going to do yet. Okay, you can see we did a decent job getting a nice wide pattern on that Dike-em. You can see there's a little bit on this side. All right. The lion's share of it goes dead straight. Okay, this is a pretty cool view. See what's going on pretty good. From that angle right there, it would be nice if we could pull that over a little bit more to the center of the cylinder, right? I mean, in reality, I would like to see a little more blue on that side, but it's really not bad the way it is. Now, if we take a look at our speeds, right? I did not do a great job when it comes to the roof speeds. So, center of the cylinder speed is way high, which means what, guys? I'll leave that for the comments. So I may wind up doing something with that. I'm definitely going to do something with that. Which, is, of course, is a pain because you got to do it on every single cylinder once you figure it out. And these are basically done. All the roof heights are the same, all the bowl widths are the same, blah, 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 all the way down. These have quite a few hours into them already. Quite a few. More than I probably should put into an iron head. But, I mean, not great. I think, like I said, I had it almost 300 before. I obviously changed something. I lost a little bit somewhere. It's probably the valve job, to be honest. The valve job is actually better now. But since these were beat so badly, I had to do what I had to do to get them so we could use them. Okay, guys, you can take a good look in here. Yeah, you can see by that light exactly what needs to happen to that wall on the center of the cylinder. Okay. The speeds across the short side radius are actually really good. Let's take a look at those. 386, 386, 387. Now that'll change as soon as I do that work, any work to the roof. I'm willing to take that. I'm willing to take that bet. Okay, flip it over, take a look. Looks awfully dark. Let's see if we can see if that makes any difference. Yeah, now we got a light on. All right. All right, see what we can see on the exhaust. Now, I know I've talked about these exhausts before, and what I don't like about them is they're absolutely massive, and I don't like a massive exhaust. I like a tight, small, fast exhaust, but these can work really well. I mean, heck, we're getting almost 250 out of it with a pipe. That's no joke. It's some serious exhaust flow. Okay, you can see you can get a really nice shape out of it, but it's a big port by the time you're done. I mean, I think this is 69 cc's before you even start, so this is probably 73 cc's. I'll measure everything when I'm finalized and completely done with these, but they're a decent sized exhaust port. Let's take a look at the outside. Okay, I do a little bit on the outside because it's very square. It's actually almost a trapezoid, right? You can see this side is actually a little taller than this side, and it's actually a little wider on the top than it is at the floor. But you can make that shape work. I mean, if you really take a look at it, see if I can get the light to go across. Something like that. You can really see how you can use that bias there to have an angle on the whole port. And if you take a look at the air speeds, right? It all wants to come in this tight side. But the way the port's designed, it's got a lot more area on this side. So, it's something to be worked on. I'm not going to say I have the exact answer, because you can't go too far on this because you have the intake port in the way. And these are far from thin because it's a very thick casting to begin with. I could move that side of the port over a little bit, but do I want a bigger exhaust port? It's something to think about. Okay? Alright, same exhaust port flipped over. I really don't change the stock shape that much, but I give it more area where it needs more area. And working pretty good for me. Alright guys, this is a catch me up on the World Sportsman 2s I'm doing up. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.